Hi. So I was totally uh acting like I was streaming and I forgot to set it up. So yeah. Anyway, hi. I was just complaining about my cats anyway, 'cause Ben was sitting at the bottom of the cat tree, well, just in front of it, and Bobby had gone to the kitchen, I guess, and when she came back, she got startled because there's a boy there. She can't tell the difference between two boys because they're both black cats. Hopefully, she'll, start getting close enough to smell them and figure out this one smells like this and this one smells like that. But, um, I don't know. Anyway, I was trying to tell y'all about yesterday. Um, the boys go and chase Bobby up her cat tree all the time, like that's where she belongs and she's not supposed to be down at all. Well, how are you supposed to go potty or eat or drink if you're up a cat tree, And I'm not moving the litter. Well, I'd have to get a smaller litter box too, but I'm not moving the litter box up on top of my desk. Um, it's got the desk part and then it's got the hutch over it. It's a really nice desk. I hope nobody ever breaks it. um, but Bobby likes um to be on top of the hutch. The hutch is really nice. It's got a little bit of a lip to it at the top, so like you can go and put stuff and it's not going to fall off. But anyway, so Sam was being very bad yesterday and chased Bobby up the cat tree. And so I sent him to his room. Yes, I've taught him how to go, how, when I say go to your room, mm, he knows exactly what I mean. And so I sent him there and I made sure he went up the cat tree in their bedroom. So he would think about it. He probably fell asleep instead, but What, baby? Your brother's right there. He's up the cat tree. Sam, I think he wants somebody to play with. Sam's like, nap time. So, anyway, so he chased his cousin up the cat tree and I sent him to his room. Well, then I turned to Bobby because usually she's the instigator, but she didn't do it this time. So I went over there and I told her, I'm not going to yell at you. I was over there to check on her. And she literally meowed, "You're not?" I thought it was cool. I had to share it with y'all. So, so Ben is bored and not tired because he sleeps all the time anyway. Or at least it sure seems like it. Oh, oh, oh. A, let go. Oh, I don't think you can. Hold on. Okay. Come here. Come here. You have to get away from Mama's cords. The cord for my mouse and keyboard. It'd be really bad if he knocked him over. Well, if you're not going to play. we got a fishy toy. When those stick toys where the fish is on the end of a string, and if you have a cat and want to get your very own, they're at the Dollar Tree. Hold on, baby. There. Okay. So I'm playing Minecraft with my left hand, and since I'm not doing anything too exciting, you bite that string and you're in big trouble, mister. A, I don't want him to break the toy, and B, I'm afraid that, if he did bite the string, that, it get stuck in his throat and be a not good thing. So, we're almost done with this part. And then we can go and figure out where roads are going and all that neat stuff. I'm probably going to have to go into my other file and find out how many blocks I used for the forest. I want to say I used 1,000. I don't know. Can I have the fish back, please? Thank you. They'll get, their claw or a tooth stuck on the ribbons. I don't like the ribbons. It's like I want to cut off the ribbons. But the ribbons are part of what makes it fun, I think, so. So until they fall off naturally, and I'll be rescuing them from the ribbons as soon as they do fall off naturally. But until I do that, I gotta probably keep them on. But like, I am very... What the hey happened here? I am very worried that, they're gonna get something in their throat and... Baby, if you want to play fishy toy, you gotta come over here. Okay, so he's under my table. Well, it's really hard to play fishy toy under the table. I've got my, okay. I've got my chair, and then, hey, no claws in my chair, babe. His name's Ben, but I call him Baby a lot. It's his nickname. He likes it. No claws in my chair. He's not doing it on purpose. He's trying to grab the toy, but I don't even see him right now. Oh, he's under the table again. Well, okay. So, yeah, I've made a lot of videos today. I don't know why, but I woke up like way earlier than I usually do. And hold on. Speaking of videos, our amazing 2-day stay at Disney's Grand. Oh, cool. Let's sell me viewers again. Okay. So I got earlier than usual this morning. So I made Adventures in Neverland 4. And then I did hold on. Okay, so I did Adventures in Neverland 4, cut and paste the Statue of Liberty for Wheel of Fortune Jeopardy. I kid you not, those were the two puzzles. Fictional Ireland 37. So I did a little bit of Minecraft because but I did that one this. Okay, wait a minute. No. Let me say these in the order that they were made. I think I did Adventures in Neverland 4 first, and then I did Fictional Ireland Rebuild 37, and then I did cut and paste the Statue of Liberty, and then and then I did Adventures in Neverland 5. So Adventures in Neverland, if you don't know what I'm talking about, is the Dreamlight Valley Star Path at the moment, the Peter Pan one. And it's only going to be going for another 38 days, question mark. So, it's a short one. You know, like, people were getting upset because we were getting bonus gifts. You know, because you get a whole bunch of neat things from it. You know, outfits for certain characters like Minnie. You know, chairs, you know, all sorts of neat things. Anyway, you know, usually that's all we get. Well, we've been getting bonus gifts, which is good because they were given, you know, they always give us extra coin thingies from the I have to say coin thingies because they're not necessarily coins. They're but anyway, they're currency for the Star Path. Oh, okay, so that's the road. It goes over there to that mountain that you can't see yet because it hasn't been built. And we'll have Grammy Patricia's house on it. And every single time I build that thing, it's not quite big enough. Or I put the house in the, you know, like I put, yeah, the house, but it's a mansion. That is being used as a bed and breakfast. So, Grammy Patricia's hotel is how it's said. Anyway, that's up at the top. So every single time I build it, I think I build it too close to the spot where you get up. Although last time I built it, it was really great, I think. It flowed and everything. It took a really long time to get up there, though, by minecart. Oh, maybe that's what we'll do today. A little bit. And we'll start putting in the minecarts. Because I like to do a tour. It usually takes a really long time, depending on how many buildings and all that, and how efficient I was on um, putting in, how to, eh, putting in the places and everything. And it's really funny because when I first started this whole build, it was that mansion right there, uh, or this mansion right here. I mean, um, if we see the mansion, I will actually point it out to you. I don't think we're going to, because this is the, uh, oh, that is something that we can do. Although it's not going to help. Hold on. I know, you're getting upset because Mama took the toy away from you, but you can't play fishy toy by yourself. I mean, he could, but wouldn't be fun. Would it? Wouldn't be fun. Fishy doesn't do anything when he's by himself. He has to have a mama help. Okay, but you gotta be careful. That's Mama's good office chair. I don't like it though. If I sit in it too long, because the back's so like a normal office chair. If I sit in it too long, it kind of hurts. Well, it doesn't kind of hurt. It does. We will put this in for now, but I actually do have um the iron bars. Is it? I think it's iron bars. Well, if you want to play fishy toy, you gotta come over here and play fishy toy. Sam's like kind of moving a paw like, I want to play too, but I don't want to get up. I think this is really awesome because Ben is a 12-year-old cat. He is not acting like a 12-year-old cat right now. Come on, let go. Let go. Let go. Don't you bite that string. Forgot I was plugged in. Thank you. Get down. 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 Sam, down. Down. Okay. And Sam is actually a 10-year-old cat who so doesn't act like a 10-year-old. He acts like a 1-year-old. Just about. Like, usually when it's nap time for the older two, when we had Coral, when it was nap time for the older two, he'd go and meow around the house like he was whining, going, "I'm bored." Okay, can I have the key? Can I have the mousy toy, please? You gotta let go of it. Don't need the string. Don't need that string. Do not eat the string. Oi, kitty cats. Hold on. Pretty sure mommy's viewers are getting tired of staring at the same old thing. You know what? It helps to have the thing open that you need. Hey! Used to be that I could fishy toy in the air and Sam would jump up at it. Can you let go? Good boy. Okay. Do not go after that fish. It's right next to my knee. Good boy. In my mind's eye, I could see him going after the fish and missing and getting my knee. So, I've seen other YouTubers, they just go and build whatever, and they do that on stream, and, they talk to their viewers, and and, people don't seem to mind that they're doing that. I can move this over. Okay, anyway, so I'm pretty much doing an experiment with this. Are people gonna understand that, hey, that I'm trying to get better at talking to my audience? Hold on. Gotta change direction again. There we go. He is being so lazy. I wish I had the camera set up. Hey! Dumb llama? Alright. So I keep accidentally hitting Sam in the head with the fish. Don't worry, it's a plushie. It's got the ribbons on it though. They're just regular ribbon material, whatever that is. And that might hurt, but I don't think so. Hoping not. Hey, no biting the string. No biting the string. So, my cats love me. And I do, you know, squawk at them like they're my kids. And, that might not be a popular opinion. Because, you could hurt their feelings. Well, yeah, you could hurt their feelings. To where they get upset and not trust you or something like that. But if you raise them from a kitten to have discipline, then let go, let go, let go. Anyway, then they'll understand the difference as long as you give them love in between. So when people go, don't discipline your cat. No, discipline your cat. If you don't want them up on a counter, then if you don't want them up on a counter or a table, because that's where you eat. You got to think of it that way. And if you let your cat on your table when you eat, then they're probably going to try to steal your food. Hey, he's learning. Remember, you can bite the fish and not the string. Ew, don't bite the ribbon, baby. Babe, don't bite the ribbon. Don't. Would you stop that? We don't got. Stop. Usually I go, I'm gonna get you. But, okay, I'm putting up fishy toy. You guys are getting too aggressive. Just for a little bit. I don't really mean that, like, I'm gonna spank him or anything. Just, it's a fun little, I'm gonna get you, give him a kitty noogie or something, So maybe, since my phone's got a fresh charge and everything, that I'll move the soup boxes. That would make more sense if I would actually dare to show you what the, setup in our living room is. But anyway, maybe I will, because the bookshelf looks cluttered. It looks very cluttered. Poor bookshelf. I actually bought that like back in 2002. Oh, unless that's a newer one. No, I think that's one I bought in 2002. I don't know. Okay, so that's either the one that I bought in 2002 or one that we bought while we were still working at the W store. But either way, it's a nice sturdy bookshelf. Although I would like to get, like a one that doesn't end in particle board. I'd like to get like an all wood bookshelf. Or like have a house where the bookshelves are built into the wall. They're tall enough that they're high enough up that we could like put the couch in front of it or something, but have the bookshelf. So, like, the books that we don't um, read very often, like mine, because we have them on audio. Um, or in my computer. And technically, we have it on my tablet, but that never charged, so it's probably one of those things where it's too late, and it kind of sucks because I think I have music on there, and I'm gonna see if like Batteries Plus can recharge it, but I don't know. Like, I'm hoping that because we can't afford a new tablet right now, and that's something I like to take with me when I go on long trips, and hopefully we won't have to get hopefully we won't have to go until it's a cooler month, like October. But um but apparently our Uncle Jimmy keeps talking to my sister. um he calls us, I mean, he calls me up too, but he talks to her more, I think. But anyway, um he said that, the way that we left it when we went down there for my mom's memorial is the way it is still today, except for without a kitty cat in it. um, maybe the kitty cat is there. I don't know, because I thought my Aunt Mickey said that she's um my mom's cat Rachel. I thought my mom's cat Rachel went over to their house, but I don't know. Because um, she called me on Father's Day, and we were talking, and um, Buddy, her dog, has never been around a cat, she said. So now I'm really confused, but anyway. I I really wish that my books would start selling so I could buy them both a nice stick-built house in a nice neighborhood, preferably without rattlesnakes, coyotes, and all that stuff that they've got in there. Um, oh, they found a mountain lion under the house one time. It was just under there for, to cool off in the shade, but it was really scary when she told me about it. Anyway, so I'm just trying to fill in the time until 11. I'm going to actually work on my story today. Or at least that's the plan. I do still have to go on my secondary Dreamlight Valley file and do all the Peter Pan stuff, and then do as much of the Star Path as I can do. And I just don't think I could do that in an hour because, well, that was the day that everything was crashing. So, um, what was it? It was getting the Forgotten all leveled up to 10 and doing all the Peter Pan, I think, or maybe I was just doing the Peter Pan stuff. I don't know, but I think it was getting her up to 10 and then doing all the Peter Pan stuff. But anyway, it took 7 hours, 3 minutes, and like 58 seconds. But that was without knowing where to go on some of that stuff, so I'm betting I can do a lot better the second time. um, I'm hoping. But still, I think I will do, at least to page 100 before I go on there. Like I'll get up to page 100 and then I'll celebrate by doing uh by getting Peter Pan, and then I'll go back and do my story. And yeah. I bet you that's not the way it's going to play out, though. Anyway, I thought that was pretty cool because I got the Forgotten all leveled up yesterday after I did everything else. I was on the Xbox all day yesterday, and I didn't mean to be. And I told my son I was going to get off and work on my story. I really was, but it didn't work. But I do have to get off in 26 minutes so I can eat breakfast. Yeah. Although I might get off a little early. I don't want to do that though, because I want to be a person that does what they say they're going to do. Obviously with... This just looks like you go out to a certain spot and drop down. And if there was not a wall over there, that's exactly what would happen. But that's not the point. So, I went to go watch a movie last night. And besides that, the movie that my husband was watching on his phone or tablet, I don't know which. It's probably his tablet. Besides that was too loud. When I first loaded the movie, it took me to like the YouTube movie site for one, and for two, try to load up Catch Me If You Can. And it's like, that's not what I clicked on. I clicked on Teen Wolf, by the way. Teen Wolf has Michael J. Fox. It's got two, I can recognize them from something else, actors, and Michael J. Fox is the one, and the one that plays his dad is the other. But I don't know of any other movies that any of the other characters are in. I'm sure they are, I just don't know. Anyway, but I clicked on that and it, took me to the website thing and was trying to load Catch Me If You Can. And it's like, that's not what I clicked on. I do have Catch Me If You Can in my watch later list, but that's not the movie I wanted to watch at the moment. At that moment. Then I decided that, okay, this was a slightly bad decision because, I should not go to sleep to a movie because it'll go and switch, if it's on YouTube, it switches to the next movie and the next movie and the next movie, which is okay. Except for that, if one of those movies has like a really loud scene, I'm gonna wake up. But I got lucky this time. And I fell asleep during the movie Grease. And then Grease 2 is in the lineup after that. And I don't know what was after that, but it didn't wake me up, so it was okay. um, so normally people start talking about Minecraft when they're doing this kind of stuff, but like I'm building the same thing that I was building in the other world, the one where I had to start rebuilding. This one's I wanted to see if I could do it the right way. And so far I've been able to do it and I'm very happy about it. So far. I mean, except for that fog. I don't know if it's like I can go and make my render distance a little more and it'll be okay. But like I don't want to do anything to mess up this world at all. So like instead of using redstone for my street lamps, I'm probably going to be using sea lanterns and hoping that they're at least as bright. Um the redstone seems to be not as bright in this world, which is a little weird, but and the sea lanterns would never turn off is the thing. The sea lanterns really would never turn off, so maybe we'll do just redstone for the streetlights. I don't know if that will mess it up, but hopefully it won't. I still plan on putting in the telephone electrical poles. That's basically how it was said. He didn't know if they were telephone poles or if they were electrical poles, but they're the ones with um the whole pole is wooden and it looks really nice. And it looks even cooler when you build it. I just have to go into my Just Because world and remember how. So it won't be too bad. Um, thank goodness it's like all in Minecraft. So I think you see when I go into the menu and see when I go to the other world and all that stuff. Yay, 19 minutes to go. Yeah, I think I'm going to stop for breakfast and I'm sorry if you're very much enjoying all of my streams for the day, but I do need to adult and actually get that story edited. Because I'm just reading it so I can make sure that the paperback version and the hardback version are the same thing. And it's just a matter of concentration, and because of all the stuff that I have to do for my streaming, I'm like, okay, so I'm like sitting there editing my book and I'm like, you know what? I want to do that. And when I'm doing my when I'm doing my streaming or just, building in Minecraft, so hopefully we'll do something very interesting next time. I'm like, I want to edit my story. Well, it's kind of annoying. But I can't do that if I'm streaming because the Twitch screen, uh, covers up everything. I can't, I don't think I can make it small enough that I could do both at the same time. And I have to be able to see both sides, and I typically have YouTube open on the other side, so like I'm loading the video while like I'm loading the video that I just made while I'm making the next one, so yeah. I was just wondering, people who do Irish dance, do they just like burst out in Irish dance while they're like walking down the street, or do they like um do that so much while they're on stage that they're like, okay, I'm gonna walk now. Okay, this mansion. That's what I was talking about. So you can't even see the whole thing. I don't know if giving myself more chunks to look at would mess it up or would it be okay. I don't know. I I watch a lot of what is that? Oh. Okay, so I've got my YouTube playing silently in the background, and I started with the first video on my watch for later list, and just I'm playing them one right after another, and that's what they're supposed to do. They don't do that on my TV though. It's very annoying because like I'll go and put it. Well, it does if it's the music part of it or the Minecraft stuff that I want to build later. It might just because um there's a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to build, and I was supposed to go in there and keep trying to build that fireworks just right, and I haven't done it, so you're stuck with whatever I came up with um on the 4th of July when it comes out. That's not right. Why did that happen? But, what I did come up with is really good, so there we go. I love that. See, a little shadow. I love it. But there was another thing I loved even more. I don't know where I was in this world, but I built something and then it was reflected, or maybe the developers built something. If it's what I think it might be. Anyway, I might be able to show you. Yeah, if it's going to be vibrant visuals, it really ought to not have this fog. Mm. Yeah, okay. Okay, right there. See, the stairs are over there, and if you look just right, there's the stairs and um the wood logs on the two sides. So I think that's just so cool. It'd be even cooler when it gets to be like noontime, but I want to say the sun's going down. I'm not sure. Yeah, sun's going toward down. So, in one of my books, we have a sword fight. This guy has come, this guy is a sword master and he's come to town to hustle the locals so they can make money and keep doing the sword fighting hustle thing. And they've got, like the big trailer with, extra swords and all the stuff to keep it not, to keep the swords nice and everything. And for some reason there's a chair in one of them, but I mean, in it, because like there's a motorhome, I guess, probably. I don't know if I wrote that in or not, but anyway, there's like a motorhome that they're staying in, maybe two, because there's the head guy and then there's his friend. I want to say I named him Diego. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what I named him, but I want to say his name's Diego. And he happens to know Raphael. Raphael is an Italian chef that has had some bad luck during his life. He got kidnapped by pirates, and then at one point he got a job. Oh, I can't remember that guy's name right now. Um, oh, Adriano. I think that was his name, Adriano. Um, so he got a job with Adriano, but the problem is that Adriano's wife liked what she saw in Raphael, and they kissed, and she got pregnant with a baby, and it turned out that Adriano couldn't make babies uh until a certain time in his life, and then uh they got pregnant with a little girl. Well, they or probably the wife named the first baby Raphael, and then the second baby is Samantha, and that's what Raphael and Pepper named their kids when they come along. But Raphael's also got Leonardo. Anyway, what was my point to all this? Oh, so in this empty field here, obviously it's not empty right now, but it will be one of these days. In this empty field here, somewhere alongside the mansion or maybe down the street, is where they're going to have the sword fight. And Jack, his girlfriend, has been kidnapped by Diego and his friend. And I will give you an update if I find out if his name's actually Diego or not. Oh, I wanted to listen to that one yesterday. I'm gonna have to back it up. Oh my goodness. Kings and Queens by Ava Max, but I'm not gonna play it on my stream just in case, because it could be not copyrighted, but since it's by Ava Max, I'm gonna guess it is. But those people that do the like Disney princesses as mafia, or as mafia bosses or whatever, they use kings and queens a lot. So I don't know if that's because they've got the, um, like they're paying money so they can use it or what. So just in case I'm not using it. Um, like, because of because of those people that go and take the song and make it like Disney princesses as mafia, Disney princesses as high school students. Oh, that one was Disney princes and princesses, or princesses and princes, one of those two. Anyway, I thought it looked pretty good, but I was trying to figure out who the heck because it said Pocahontas and it said John, but it did not say John Smith. It said John something that started with an R. And I didn't know who the heck that was. Maybe that's the guy from the second movie. I haven't seen the second movie, so. Or at least I haven't seen enough of the second movie. Like, I think I saw, like, just a tiny bit of it. Anyway, um, so, anyway, uh, Jack was about to propose to his girlfriend, Yvette, and, right outside the jewelry store. He'd been taking her over there several times and going, "Which ring did you want?" He's already bought it, but he keeps asking. And so she points it out, and he got down on one knee, and she's like, and that's when she got kidnapped. So then she got very angry at Jack because he left her with the bad guys. He didn't go and try to grab her back again. But the thing is that they set up, or he didn't pay the money. Like, Diego said, give me $1,000 or $1,000,000, whatever it was, and you can have her back. But he didn't want to be paying for the rest of his life. He didn't want to be that kind of victim. So he decided not to pay it. And that's why she gets angry at him. And so she gets taken off, taken off by the bad guys. And they don't know where the bad guys are. But somewhere in there, Diego gets punched, and so his I think his jaw got shattered or something. Anyway, so they had to go to the emergency room and get it fixed. And so instead of the sword fight being at 10 o'clock, it ended up being at midnight, something like that. Or maybe it was the next day. But anyway, it got delayed. That's the point, is it got delayed. And so when they show up the next day, Raphael's got this big hat on, with the wide brim. The hat part is the part that goes on your head, and then the brim is the part that's sticking out from that. Anyway, so because he's sword fought Diego before, and he almost won. Or no. Well, he sword fought Diego before, and I think he got beat, but Diego did that with Raphael and Pepper, and Raphael paid, but he always wondered if he could have beat Diego outright. So he goes and tells Jack, I'm willing to find out. And because Raphael's even better than Morgan. Morgan's the one that's the best in the whole entire house. And then Sean and Ashley. And then some other people. But anyway. Like the only ones that aren't really a 3, 4, or 5. Well, like a 3. A third best in the house. The only people that aren't are the ones that are like just learning because they were babies or toddlers previously. But anyway, so they show up to the sword fight, and Jack comes up with a stupid idea. So I got to make sure that somewhere in the area where the fencing match is going to be are some rocks, because he goes and makes sure that because he's not as skilled as Diego, and he knows it. So he strategically goes and moves the fight over to that rock so he can step on it, and then his second, that's the guy that takes over if you die or get injured. His second is going to be able to take over. Well, Raphael is his second. So Raphael's, the best in the house. And I didn't write that in. I need to write that in. That, that they had a sword fight and that's what happened. Huh. Gives me something more to write about. Okay, so anyway, I was coming up with great stuff about Johnny too the other day during my stream. I'm gonna have to probably listen to whichever one it was again, or just try to remember it. But anyway, I should have written it down when I had, when I thought of it. But yeah, so Jack goes over there, and he meant to just sprain his ankle, but he actually broke it. So then Raphael takes over, and you'll just have to wait until that book gets published to find out what happens. That is Sweet Revenge. No, that's not Sweet Revenge. Sweet Revenge is where Raphael and Pepper are a couple. What is that book? Here, we'll bring this up. And we'll hit File. And we'll go to Open. Open. That was a Mervyn's commercial way back when. If you don't know what Mervyn's is, please look it up because it was a good store. Literally, my daughter was so skinny when she was a kid. She probably still is. But anyway, I didn't really pay attention to anything, but she was actually there and I got to hug her and I was very happy. What's that book? I don't know. Okay, so we've got Heartset, which is where Paige and Oliver are a couple. Then we've got Summer Journey, which Natalie and Romeo are a couple. I'm saying it that way on purpose. Uh, the Captain, where Sean goes crazy for a little while. Um, Russian Rose, which I don't think that's like an actual story so far, but yeah, Sean and well, no, I should back it up even further. William has Russian genes in him, so then Sean and Jesse have Russian genes in them, and yeah, GENES kind of genes. Um, the sciencey ones, not like blue jeans. Anyway, so I called her Russian. So I called it Russian Rose. It just sounded really cool. But basically, it's just when Rose gets born. And then I have First Son, where their first son after Jonah gets born. And then I have them on the ship. There's gotta be. I don't know. Okay, oh, the duel. That's what it's called. It's called the duel. So that'll be coming up eventually. Oh, it's 11:05. We can, well, we can either stop this or we can go until these two rows are done. And unfortunately, that's probably what I'm gonna do. But I am hungry, so okay. So please check out my books on Amazon. In the search engine on Amazon, type in Tina Rash Books. It's TinaRashBooks. I know, lousy last name, but I didn't marry him for his last name. I married him, you know. Um, and I'm kind of afraid that people are looking at my title, at my name on my books, and not seeing the INA space and just seeing what's left over. Hopefully not, but if that's the case, I will ask them if I can change the last name back to my maiden name or or use a pen name. I don't know how you like get a pen name to be a legal name. You know, like you know, like Samuel Clemens and Mark Twain. Although back then there wasn't, like a office saying, "Hey, you have to publish under your real name or we're not going to pay you." Or or pay us $50 and you're all good. I think. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that there wasn't that office back when. It was probably a lot easier. Like, okay, so I listen to The Outsiders. I don't read it. I used to read it a lot, but now that I've got it on audiobook, then, I can actually uh, listen to it and Anyway, I've been noticing, okay, she has Pepsi Cola in there. She has Coca, well, I think it says Coke, but it's Coca-Cola. Um, what was it? There's some other stuff. Oh, cool cigarettes. She's got all those things in there. And I don't know if they paid the companies to be able to have the money. I mean, the name in there or what. So, I don't know if it's like you can name any company you want and it's okay because it's like free advertising for them, or if they're gonna get angry at me for putting that in there. But usually when I put in the books, I mean the car names, I go and say, what car I want it to be. So I'm hoping that none of those companies are going to get angry at me. Like when I'm saying cherry cola in my books, I am meaning a wild cherry Pepsi. But on the other hand, when I'm saying a cola, I'm meaning Coke. Coca-Cola. So, or like when I'm saying a root beer, I'm meaning mug root beer. No other root beer, but I just put root beer in there because then if you like mug, it's mug. If you like AMW, it's AMW. And if you like Bargs, which I don't know why anybody does because it tastes like black licorice, but I don't personally happen to like black licorice. Although I do tolerate it when it's a Jelly Belly now. So maybe I'd be okay with black licorice, but I really like red licorice if I'm gonna have that. And I remember those buckets at Walmart with the licorice in them being $5, and I thought that was a little outrageous, but it was a decent price for that big of a thing. I was okay with it. But now that it's over $10 for the same exact bucket, I'm like, no. Not unless my books all, not unless all of my books start selling and, and, oh, we never got that finished. Okay, so I'll get this little corner finished real quick. But not unless my book starts selling, I'm able to pay all the bills for that month, with food money. And the house is paid off, and I'm just that desperate for sugar. Okay, I don't recommend smuggling food into the movie theater, but the movie theater is expensive. Although our movie theater is pretty awesome because you pay $20 and you get the big refillable popcorn and a large drink. I think a large drink for $20. So, it's pretty cool. I try not to drink that much of my large drink because I'll end up having to visit the ladies' room before the movie's over, and if it's something I haven't seen, then I'm gonna be upset. But if it's something I have seen, then I'll be fine. Because I do like to go there when they play some of the older movies, like Grease and Dirty Dancing. We saw Casablanca for my very first time. never seen it before. I was kind of disappointed that he didn't get the girl, but I understood why he didn't get the girl, so it's okay. But, and I'm sorry if I just ruined it for everybody. Spoiler alert, you know. But, well, we weren't gonna do this, but it just seems like a good idea to do. Oh. I don't know what I was just seeing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so now it's playing like a whole bunch of, you know, really great. What's it really called? Back on. Okay, hold on. Classic rock anthems from The Voice. It's a mega compilation. It says. Well, it really is. It's very good, but except for this one guy, I can't understand a word he's saying. And like, I can't understand a lot of what he's saying, but everybody else I can, understand. Except for I really don't understand why you would want to take a Blondie song called okay, it's a song by Blondie called "Call Me," and I don't know why you would want to opera sing that. And she hurts my ears. I know, you're saying, like, turn her down. Well, yeah, she still hurts my ears. Ah, look, we're at the other end. Well, almost, because the other end is technically right there. But one of the songs on here is "I Was Made for Loving You, Baby," and I can't remember the band who I like singing it, but oh no, wait, that's not a band that likes. Okay, um, okay, so this guy from Russia, Ukraine, anyway, somewhere around there was singing the song, and I love it by him. But then I went and looked it up by the band that they said singing the song, and I'm like, I don't like that at all. But then I think I listened to it by, like I asked, HG to play the song, and I didn't like it at all. And then I asked, I mean, I saw what band it was, and then I listened to it from there, and it was better, but I still didn't like it as much as the guy from The Voice. It was just so much better. So, like, if I could get a professional, um, if I could get that song on, like a professional, I can't think what they're called. You go on Amazon and you can order the one song for 99 cents or whatever. Soundbite keeps popping into my head, and that's not it. But anyway, whatever the wordage is, if I could get one of those with him singing that song the way he did on The Voice on this video, then I would love it. I would totally love it. I was trying to find there was a her name's Ada. I think it is. And like she was a waitress. And they're like, yeah, right, waitresses can't sing. And then she went on there and she totally sounded like a professional singer. And they're like, yeah, right, it's a sound effect. You know, she's doing something to make herself sound great. And I think they were prejudiced because she was a waitress. So, anyway, or being judgmental because she was a waitress. But whatever the deal was, they did apologize. It was totally awesome. Anyway, so they stopped her and they said, "Can you sing a cappella?" Which means without the music. And she sang exactly the same way. And so the one guy's like, it is so hard to, uh, it's like so hard to give compliments, but that was amazing. Uh, whoever posted that, whoever posted that video was nice enough to put the words on there so you can tell what they're, so you can tell what they were saying. And also they put the words to the, that she's singing there. And the song's very pretty in whatever language she's singing it in, but it doesn't quite make sense when you know what the words are in English. I mean, it's a pretty song, but it's just, like, I think it's prettier in the language that it's in. And I think that's kind of weird because Amazon seems to think that if you're from America, you want to hear just Americans. And, like, I've got songs from an Italian band, and I bet you nobody knows that they're Italian because they sing in English, called Baltimora. They're the ones that came up with Tarzan Boy. And Woody Boogie and some other songs that I can't think of right now. I do apologize if Baltimore is ever watching this video at some point. That'd be so cool. I mean, I've already had Vin Diesel on here. Yeah, I mean, I know you can go on here and say that you're Vin Diesel. You can go and say that you're Paul Walker. You can say that you're a little Dutch woman from I mean, who now lives in Canada, but but you may be, like a 12-year-old in Minnesota. You never know with the internet, but still, that's something that they brought up on a Cinderella story. You know what? I was just gonna fill in the hole. That's all I was gonna do. Yeah, let's just fill in the hole. We can fill in the rest of it later. Anyway, that's something that a Cinderella story brought up is, he goes and says, "You're not a guy, are you?" And she goes, "No, of course not," or something like that. And he goes, "Well, you never know with the internet." And then he goes, "If you are a guy, I'm gonna kick your butt." Cinderella Story is a movie with Hilary Duff, and I can't remember the guy who plays Austin's name right now. My sister's probably gonna kick my butt as soon as she sees this one because I should know it. Um, Maybe Chad Michael Murray. He's he's somebody that we talk about a lot because he's on movies that we like, but I don't remember which. I don't remember if that's him. That. Oh, I think he's the one that is also on Freaky Friday, but I'm not entirely sure. See, there I go again. There I go again. You know what? Why don't I just hop off of here? So, anyway, please check out my books. They are Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, later in the series, Esperanza's Party, and The Island. I will write some books where there's, or maybe just one book, I'm not sure which, um, where I explain what happened between Hard Times and, well, so I wrote Finding Love, and that is Jake's story. So, Morgan is the captain, and that is not because of Captain Morgan, the alcohol. It's because, on one movie I watched, Morgan was, oh, on, on Cutthroat Island, Morgan is a female character played by Gina Davis. Cutthroat Island is a movie, just in case you don't know. It's also got Matthew Modine in it and some other people. I'd kind of like to know the names of the some other people so I could, throw those out too. But yeah, it just ends up being and some other people verbally. But anyway, so in that movie, Morgan's Girl. Well, in the 1993 Beverly Hillbillies movie with Jim Varney playing Jed. And it's got that guy from 9 to 5, that the one that played the boss. It's got him. Oh, he also played on You've Got Mail as his Tom Hanks's dad in that movie. Joe. Tom Hanks played Joe, and Joe's dad was him. But anyway, it's got both of them in it. And what movie was I talking about? Oh, Beverly Hillbillies. Anyway, that guy plays Mr. Drysdale, the banker. He plays Mr. Drysdale, and his son is named Morgan. So he's supposed to take Ellie Mae to school. Well, he's thinking, corn ponies, 6-year-old, probably, or, maybe 10 to 12, not pretty at all, not gonna date her, all that stuff. Well, it turns out that, Ellie Mae looks like Ellie Mae, and he thinks she's very pretty. And so, like, at first, he can't even talk to her, and, yeah, she kept talking to him, so he finally figured out how to talk, and then he's literally showing her the ropes, and they have a coffee, oh, what do you call that thing? Well, we'll call it a kiosk for now, but like a rolling coffee tray. And I guess it's got like electronics to keep the coffee warm and all that. So at one point, they're walking down the hallway. He goes, "Cappuccino?" And she has no idea what he's talking about. But anyway, that's why Morgan's name is Morgan, is because, she could be a guy, she could be a girl. You don't know until you meet her, and then, yeah. So that's why her name is Morgan. And then Hayden is Captain's boyfriend. He eventually gets to be Captain's husband, but but he has no rank on the ship because she wants, if she wants to hang out with her boyfriend, she's going to hang out with her boyfriend. You know, he doesn't have to do a job on the ship unless she assigns him to do a job on the ship, and he usually doesn't. Now that I think about it. Except for the one time she sent him up to do uh, crow's nest duty. Yeah, that's where you go up in the crow's nest and you're looking around making sure enemy pirates aren't going to get you, or that there's not a typhoon coming or a hurricane or whatever. Actually, hurricanes are usually, like they start, um, they're near the ocean, but they affect the land. A typhoon is like a hurricane just out on the ocean, as far as Joe versus the volcano has shown us. Um, what was it that I don't know if that was the news or if that was a movie, but I remember there being like really big winds and um it wasn't a tornado movie. I don't know. Or maybe I just imagined it. I don't think so though. I just know that something I was watching, they had, big wind of some sort, and the person's stuff ended up being on, like, say the first person ended up, I mean, the first person lived on Cherry Street, and their stuff, their lawn furniture or whatever, ended up on Spruce Street, 3 streets away or 4 streets away. I don't remember what I was watching, but although I do remember in Twister that the what was it, the aunt or the grandma, or anyway, Helen Hunt's family person, uh her and the her and her dog were in the house when the tornado showed up, and they didn't have nearly enough time to, get to a safer spot. They usually have like a underground bunker thing, so so you can be safe from the tornado. But they were in the house, and I think they were upstairs asleep, so they like didn't hear the alarm or anything either. And the house was collapsing when Helen Hunt's character uh, and her ex-husband character, because I can't think of his name either. I haven't watched that in a really long time. Um, but anyway, when they got to the house, the house was collapsing. Well, they got both of them out of there, but it was, a really scary moment for a while there. And but on a episode of the TV show Roseanne, it was really weird because the tornado came and it looked at Roseanne's house and it's like, "Nope, I don't want to visit you this time." So, I know that TV shows and movies aren't reality. They're not real stuff. But if you do have to be stuck in the house, Roseanne said that, the TV show Roseanne said that it's a good idea to open up all the windows so, like, all the pressure from the tornado being there or something like that. Like the windows won't shouldn't break. But if if you can hide in a room that doesn't have any windows. Preferably not preferably on the first floor. And like say like if your bathroom doesn't have any windows, then that would be a perfect spot to hide. Um, but like if you do have windows in your living room and that's like the only spot that you can like be behind the furniture. Like one of them or maybe two of them were behind the couch. Like they moved the couch into the middle of the room or something like that, I think. And I haven't seen that episode in years. Please don't fault me. But well, I said 8 to 11 or 8 to noon a.m. I really need to go get breakfast. Anyway, I've made a lot of videos today though. I'm pretty happy. Um I wasn't going to, I wasn't going to, but then it just, it took so long to um I woke up a lot earlier than normal, so I think I did the YouTube first. I mean, not YouTube. I'm sorry. I think I did the other Minecraft first, and then I did cut and paste. Okay, so Fictional Ireland Rebuild 36. And then I'm pretty sure I did. Oh, no. Okay. So, Adventures in Neverland 4, cuz that was when I had just woken up. And then I still had some time, so Fictional Ireland 36. No, that was yesterday. Okay, 37 then. What are we making right now? We are making 38. Yeah. Okay, so Fictional Ireland 37. Then I did cut and paste the Statue of Liberty. That was the Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy because it's Saturday. And then um yeah, and then Adventures in Neverland 5, and then Fictional Ireland. Oh, no, we already counted that one, so never mind. And then, and then Fictional Ireland 38, so, yeah. So, that's what I've done today so far. And I squawked at a couple of cats. I was actually playing with my cats a little earlier in this video, wasn't I? Yeah. So, I know that's not the most interesting content, but it is important. It's very important. Wonder how far this will go before it crashes into something. That's how you make something that isn't that interesting to you interesting to your viewers. How far is this going to go before it crashes into something? right here. Okay, and then we're going to go back over there and I'll end the video because, like I said, I'm hungry. Um, yeah, so if you're watching this on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell. And if you're watching me on Twitch right now, I only got one viewer. I think I count as that viewer, but I'm not sure. But anyway, I've got one viewer. But if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow, and when I'm on, chat with me, please. I love chatting. I'm just not very good at catching when people are actually on. I do answer the person later after they've already left. I don't mean to make it later when they've already left, but that's what ends up happening. So, yeah, I think I'm still trying to get the 5 chatters. I think I'm still trying to get a certain number of people on YouTube. It's just like a matter of time which one's going to come through first. Twitch, YouTube, or my books. As soon as I can get this book edited properly, I'm going to have to go through the next book and edit it properly, and then we'll be uh then we'll be like cooking with fire there, because I'll be able to say, okay, they're all done, they're ready to go, they're perfect, and they are in agreement of every single word. Because, okay, I'm not picking on these other people, but, well, I'm kind of picking on the editor, but, some of my favorite books actually do have typos. Um, the Nancy Drew series that I love from the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, every once in a while, instead of saying Bess, Bess, it says Beth. So one time I was like, okay, are they talking about a new character? No, it was Bess. Um, and then Harry Potter has an audio typo. So in one of the books, the password to Dumbledore's office is lemon drop or sherbet lemon. I think it's lemon drop. And they said that the password 2 years ago was sherbet lemon. So you're like, lemon, lemon. Yeah, it's okay. No, because that's not what the password was. So it was lemon drop. I'm pretty sure it was lemon drop. So anyway, I'm trying to avoid that kind of stuff where, like, one version of the story has the one set of words and the other story has the other set of words, and they don't match and it doesn't work. I want to be totally consistent and have, like, if I'm going to reference a book that has already been published, I want to go and make sure that I've got the right words for the job. And I want to go and make sure that I've got everything spelled correctly. I think that's really hilarious because Word 365, I had the wrong version of your in there. I had YOU apostrophe RE when it was clearly YOUR that I was needing. And 365 said that I had everything spelled correctly. Because technically I did. It's just not the correct word for that particular spot in the page. So I just think that they need to work on that a little bit if they can. I don't know if they can. Because AI is pretty stupid. It's smart and stupid at the same time. Maybe not. Maybe stupid's not the right word. Unintelligent, uninformed, un. I don't want to say unprogrammed because it's obviously been programmed. It's just not. Like stuff like that is very important to me, and I think that's because my dad, said that things needed to be right when I was a kid at some point. Maybe, I don't know. Or like my mom, she always made sure I called it Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or we would not rent it from the library because we didn't own it. And because I always called it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory because it's about Charlie being at the chocolate factory. Was Willy Wonka in the scene where they drink the fizzy lifting drinks and almost get uh uh smushed up in the ceiling fan? No, Charlie was there. Um, was Charlie over there singing Golden Ticket with dancing Golden Ticket with Grandpa? No. Although I don't understand why Grandpa was singing "I've Got a Golden Ticket." It should have been Charlie. But maybe the boy that played Charlie couldn't sing. I don't know. Um. So anyway, as soon as we get down to the other end here, yeah, as soon as we get down to the other end here, we'll end the stream. Even though it's like 12 minutes until 2 hours. It'd probably be better to go for the 12 minutes and then, finish, but it's like time flies when you're trying to fill in those 3 hours. That's all I'm trying to stream, and I haven't made it in the last few days because Dreamlight Valley is so much fun. I mean, that's different, but oh, I thought I was gonna. Okay. I'm just having fun filling this in. So I will try to end the stream when I get over there then. And then I can finish this while I'm eating. While I'm eating. Okay. Yeah, so since this is the 21st, that means that we are really close to the end of the month. Which means that we're really close to which means that we're really close to 4th of July. And I'm gonna try to remember to advertise the heck out of my 4th of July videos. They are all my Rainbow Raceway, and this year I think with some obvious exceptions, I think I really did a good job. We got fireworks going up and down a building. We've got that long road that goes nowhere, but it goes somewhere now. But we've got that, and I made that video. I made the final product video. Stupid bat. I made the final product video like back in April because I was like, I want to make sure that we can get this done. And then I didn't have to worry about it, you know? I'll come up with something for next year. The idea was to go and, keep working on this year's one and uh make it perfect, but it'll do. And they are all going off by themselves, getting triggered by the track and everything. Oh, hey. So if I can get on here later after I'm done with my second account of Dreamlight Valley, um, if I can do that and make sure that I've got uh um I was gonna put in the track and I forgot. Because it needs to, okay, so to start out with, at least, it needs to go up to the cereal factory. So it's got to go from the mansion to the gas station to the cereal factory. And then it's going to sit there for a while until we have more roads, but it'll be nice. And they drive on the right. Oh, excuse me. Unless they've changed it in the last few. Uh, in the last couple of years, they drive on the right side of the road over there. And as far as I could tell, um, when I was going through the list, as far as I can tell, that was the uh maybe that in England was the only ones who still did. So, I had to go and come up with a way to make it um had to come up with a way to make it to where we could have a switchover. And and I came up with something. I don't have a copy of that anymore. Oh my goodness. Unless it's on the one with the island and the airplanes and I got a really weird file, but I don't think I had that. Huh, so I may not have that. That would be bad. Okay, we're at an hour and 53 minutes. Well, I've run out of things to say, so I will say, like I said, please check out my books. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell if you're watching me on YouTube, and follow in chat if you're watching me on Twitch. And I will see you in the next stream or video.